Welcome back to Show Em The Dore, the podcast where we're so up in this week of sports. My name's Christopher Conway. This is my lovely co-host, Willem Azzinnaro. And today, we have a bevy of sports to talk about. We have 5 games, 4 of which we won, so never been more up. I don't think we've had a week this good in a long time.
What's the winning percentage there?
4 out of 5, 80?
Great job.
Dude, some say I can do simple math and fractions.
You did say 4 at first, and I thought, oh no.
Can you imagine? I'm like 4% of 5%.
I didn't think you'd say percent. I thought you'd just say 4.
That'd be crazy.
What?
I think I'd have to retire from the game.
I think so.
On a note of me not knowing things, I had to give a presentation in my science improv class the other day, and I talked about Hank Green, and through it I talked about Crash Course because that's something he's done, and I was like, yeah, he does the most recent videos on Crash Course, as you can see, are things for mitosis and things like that. Somebody raised their hand because they know I'm an HOD major, and they go, what is mitosis? And I'm like, it's the one where they split. And he's like, well, what he said was, name one thing about mitosis. It was even more disrespectful of a question. And I was like, it's the one where the cells split. And he's like, yeah, okay.
It happens in phases.
Yeah, there's 4.
Prophase, metaphase, anaphase,
all right.
telophase.
Yeah. I think if you gave me a while, I could have done that. Because I did take bio in high school.
Quite possibly him.
But I
took bio in college.
I didn't, so.
Isn't that crazy? With
Yeah.
Dr. Clemens?
Yeah.
He taught me about that stuff.
Well, good. He's a goofy guy.
I love Dr. Clemens.
Yeah, I mean, I love him to death. I sent him. I fell asleep Thursday. I fell asleep Thursday night at 9, and I had a reflection due for him at midnight. And I woke up at 2 a.m. and I was like, shoot, I haven't done this. So I rushed downstairs because that's where my computer was, and I start doing this reflection super late. And I start the reflection, this is important, I start the reflection with, okay, comma, so this is definitely late, but I conked out tonight at 9:30 deeply unexpectedly. One could argue that I could have done this reflection earlier than that, and yeah, I 100% should have. With that being said, I woke from a deep slumber with the panic that only a student that genuinely cares about missing assignments for this class has, so that has to get me something, right? 3 line breaks. Anyway, this week was pretty solid, and it talks Dude, after my presentation, he said, you're gonna be really good at clowning when we get to it in 3 weeks. And I was like, hold on. And so I said, learning that I was already apt at clowning sounded like an insult, but one that you knew I didn't know, so how deep could it really cut? Well, I looked it up, found this, and it says, what is clowning in theater? Theatrical clowning is character-oriented and explores the dynamics of the clown's reaction to the world which rejects them, exacerbating their perpetual failure. And I said, immediately sent that into a group chat with Connor, Bryce, and Zoe, and I sent that, and I said, oh man, and then Zoe said, L plus perpetual failure, and Bryce said, holy shit, it's Clemens from the top rope. But yeah, it was a fun week. Good sports, good times, good friends.
Clowning.
Yeah, so I'm a clown, I've learned. Yeah.
Once I'm done, is it miming next?
Yeah, well, he actually when he was like, hey.
That's what they said about John Wayne Gacy. Give me real good clowning. We'll get to that. He was. Never mind.
He actually when he responded to my reflection, he was like, it wasn't an insult. This is what it actually is, and it was different. But I thought it was kind of funny being like,
what is it?
You're going to make me look up my reflection feedback?
No,
I don't remember.
No.
Hold on. Give me a second. God, always so demanding. I tend to think that of clowning as an intense connection to the audience, and that's the aspect of clowning we will explore in this class. You essentially had them eating out of your hand. That's how good I thought your presentation was. A smiley face. I was sitting here, I'm like, my presentation was kind of bad.
It is what it is.
Anyway.
We learned.
We do have a lot of sports to talk about. I don't know if Willem has any life updates that he always does at the start of these episodes, though.
I don't think so.
Wow, that's big.
Not for you fellas.
Yeah. There's some private stuff. All 4 viewers, they can't see this. No, we always get so many more views whenever I publish the episode on time, which didn't happen this past week, and then like you post it on time. I feel like we've been slacking a little bit.
We've been off.
I've been doing things.
Buddy, me too.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't saying in contrary to you.
Oh no. I'm just saying. Like,
I was like, I'm actually busy.
No, like compounding it makes it hard for us.
Yeah. Also because we're on such a not synced schedule. Anyway.
I guess I gotta quit my job.
Yeah, you should quit your job. Come back to school. Games. I think we should go men's, women's baseball.
Good order.
So starting with the men's games, we have 2 games. One of them was versus South Carolina. And the Wild, I think they're ranked like top 15.
Yeah, I don't like that.
They're the Fighting Miles Duties.
The Fighting Miles.
Let me see how well they're ranked.
More pages of apps on your phone than I thought.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Oh, that's actually them. Yeah, they're 15. Apparently, we let somebody drop 31 on our dome piece, which is not great. Shot 14 for 17 from the field, no threes. His name is Colin Murray Boyles. Admittedly,
is he a big boy?
He's a forward.
Interesting. So that must be
He only averages 9 per game. Wow,
that sucks, man.
We suck.
You hate to see that.
No.
Because, like, it's one thing when, like, their good player goes off. It's another thing when they got the bombs.
Yeah, you got, like, the solid role player dropping 40 on your head.
Yeah, you got these guys who
got, like,
put
Danny
in hard
Green.
work and hard minutes. Putting in 30.
You got Jeff Teague putting up 40 on your head.
You're giving Jeff Teague an all-star? Like,
yeah.
What are we doing here?
That's back when Kyle Korver, like, made an all-star starter.
Well, they just had most of the Hawks as all-stars because they were the best team in the league.
True.
None of them were, like, great, though.
No.
Jeff Teague has a great podcast, though.
Jeff Teague does have a good podcast.
It's hilarious.
But that game was not good. We couldn't really score at any effective rate. We only had 60 points in the game, which is...
Yeah, much like Jeff Teague, we weren't that great.
Jeff Teague bounced around the league for a while.
He was nice for a bit. He just wasn't phenomenal.
No. Much like Brandon Knight. We started off strong.
Yeah, for real. I appreciate Jeff Teague's, like, honesty in his podcast of, like... He's like,
I was a bum.
I mean, I just did my little thing. They were talking about when Jason Tatum got hurt when T was in Boston. So he started a game, and he put up 26 against Memphis, and they were like, "You guarded Ja?" And he's like, "No, I didn't do that. I can't be playing against those guys. I'll score my little points." But we had Marcus Smart. He guarded him. It's fair. Like, it's refreshing to hear stuff like that. It's like similar to one time when we interviewed basketball legend Drew Weichert. It was like, it was nice.
That.
You know?
Yeah.
He felt like
it was a real guy.
Yeah. And, like, not that the rest of them aren't, because they're really cool people. But like, he was just so, like...
But, like, Drew Weichert wasn't, like a highly rated prospect out of high school.
No.
And so, like, talking to him was different than any of the other athletes, because, like, they got recruited.
Yeah.
I don't know how recruited Drew Weichert got.
I don't think he... Well, he played for 1 year up in... weird school. So
but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they got recruited in the same way that, like, kids from my high school got recruited. To
you get a little phone call and you're like, "You want to go to college, son?" And they're like,
"We're D3. We can't offer any scholarships." I was
gonna work on the farm with Pa, but since you're giving me an education.
Yeah. No. you know, we have some kids that are getting pretty highly recruited out of Pallid right now.
I know there was the one kid who was number 1 in the class.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was.
Since then, I believe I've heard like a couple people like
big. Yeah, like we had like a wide receiver that was like offers from like LSU, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, like all of those, which is.
Where's he going?
I don't remember.
Vandy.
Yeah, he's going to Vandy. I sent him a DM, got it.
We got that locked up. Don't you worry about it, Coach.
I don't think he follows me.
What'd you say?
And I said I don't think he follows me, which kind of, whatever. Oh yeah, his offers are Alabama, Colorado, Florida, Kentucky, Michigan State, LSU, Ole Miss, Penn State, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia Tech, Georgia, Tulane.
Tulane.
I think that was his first. I think he's still a senior.
They're just tossing their hat in there.
Yeah, dude, rip mama, rip granny. Bro's going through it. Bro's going through it. Bro's already, dude. You know he's gonna be a good football player.
I know his mom and his grandma. It was like the two.
Yeah,
it's a big two.
Especially as a wide receiver.
Have you heard? Dartmouth is trying to classify their athletes as like employees of the university and pay them and allow them to unionize.
No. Cool.
But like that'd be a big deal.
Yeah, that'd be.
And like sure, it's gonna be like appeals and court cases in years, but like.
That's cool.
If people started doing that, that would be.
It'd be interesting.
Intriguing.
Indubitably.
I think people are overreacting though because they only do it because they don't get athletic scholarships in the Ivy.
Mm-hmm. They don't?
No. So, yeah.
Well, back to Vandy sports.
Our actual sports.
We ended up losing to South Carolina by 15, which, like, if you really think about it,
30.
Like, they're the 15th ranked team in the nation.
Dennis Schroeder put up 30.
No, but they're the 15th ranked team in the nation. I kind of don't think losing by 15 is all that bad.
You know what? I've seen worse.
I've seen far worse, like losing to
teams.
30 something to Kentucky. I think that it was in South Carolina as well. So, you know, in their own gym, we'll get them here. You know, probably not. But that in the next game we did play Texas A&M.
Tamu.
And I caught the last like 10 minutes of this game because I took the craziest nap known to man right after class. And my mom was actually texting me. And she was like, "Are you seeing this?" And I was like, "We have a game today?" And I turn it on. And it's like we're leading Texas A&M by like 8. And this is right after they smashed Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this is like what the team's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then, like, as I'm watching it, like, the inevitable truth about Vanderbilt basketball is that we will blow the lead. And that came to be true in the last 20 seconds of the game.
Ooh.
Where we went down 1 point with, like, 12 seconds left.
Okay.
Do you know what happens?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, this is about to be a crazy story if you don't know. And I was like, man, it's now 72-73. We were up like 72, like 65 or something ridiculous like that. We couldn't get a point to save our lives. And we throw the ball into Ezra. And Ezra hits him with a couple moves. Like, essentially, like, gets down to the free throw line, realizes he needs to shoot because of time. He goes to shoot, gets the shot blocked, regains the ball, and shoots with, like, as the, like, it got off, but, like, it didn't get off by a lot, and the shot dropped. On the broadcast, it looked like a walk by, like, a mile. It looked like a walk, double dribble, whatever it is. I think that'd be considered a walk. And then you see other angles, and it actually did get blocked, so you're allowed to regain possession. But like, I need to consider an Ezra jersey.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at the end of the day, in my time here, he's probably been the most fun player to watch.
He's been the best, yeah.
And that's including, like, Liam.
Yeah, Liam was cool.
Scottie
but
Pippen Jr.
Like, he didn't do what Ezra did. That's Ezra's second buzzer beater.
Is that only his second?
At least his second. Because I know he had the one against Auburn. I know Tyrone's got one or two.
I think that he is either made or assisted on, like, every buzzer beater I've ever seen at Vandy.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It's been wild.
How many buzzer beaters do you come by? Like,
I feel like that's Vandy sports outside of football. Like, let's actually... Never mind.
Big moments. It's buzzer beaters. It's
but, like,
innings,
you never, like, comfortably win.
I know. It's fun, But it's also not.
But it's also like, man, I'll be gray in 2 years.
Disappointing.
But so we won that game. It was crazy, actually. We were in the new golds, which was cool. I like those.
I saw it in the newspaper, actually.
You saw it in the newspaper?
That's how I learned
You
about
geriatric, like, what are you doing over there? What do you mean? What are the newspaper was like, Doors win, Kennedy wins election. Like, what do you want over there?
The next week is bad news, guys. Kennedy ain't made. We sell newspapers at Kroger, and some really old guys buy it sometimes. And I walk by and I look and I say, oh, dude. My first thought, originally from afar, was, dude, front page, the women's team. And I go look at it and I say, what'd the men's team do to make it to the paper? I did not expect this. And I see, Doors win, blah, 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 blah. And they're wearing the gold jerseys, and it's a photo of Ezra, like, going crazy. And I'm like, hey, look at that.
Yeah,
It's tough, man.
that's interesting.
I've been reading the paper recently, actually.
That's, some would say wild.
The manager has, like, a paper that he has somebody grab for him and put it up at customer service so he can buy it when he gets in.
I'm going to the women's stats because I admittedly haven't seen these games.
Other headlines include there's a bill in the Tennessee House trying to ban the sale of cold beer.
That's true, refrigerated specifically.
Yes, so Kroger would have to take them out of the fridge. That's like actually gonna.
It's really interesting.
Years and years gonna impact. What's it gonna do? Like, do you
Stop
think people are
cold
gonna go down there to the Kroger, pick up their cold beer, and then drunk drive home? Because it's against drunk driving. Like,
I'm like, well, I mean, I have myself. No, I don't know. I think I'm okay with I mean, who really cares?
That's my issue, actually, is you have way bigger fish to fry than banning the sale of cold beer.
But,
additionally, they're funding private schools now. You hear about this? Millions and millions and millions of dollars are going to private schools from the government.
I thought that was the whole point
Taxpayer money. That's my thing. That's what a private school is not funded.
Willem gets a job and suddenly needs to know where his taxpayer dollars are going.
Dude, did you know how much I paid in taxes this year? $2, and I'm probably gonna get it back.
And you're like, those $2 better not be going to no private school.
Let's note real quick that I did pay more than $2 in taxes. I got it back though, so just so we're clear on all the legality of everything.
Dude, I saw a tweet that was like, the IRS audits 0.2% of all tax returns, meaning that the probability of you committing tax fraud successfully is a 99.8%. That value is too good to pass up on. Okay.
I did actually only pay $419 in taxes, and they gave me $420. So I have cheated the government.
We're gonna go talk about women's basketball now. We have played 2 games, Georgia in Georgia, and versus Texas A&M. And we've won both, which was good, because we were on a bit of a loss streak for a while. I think before that we had lost, 5 of our last 6?
6, yeah.
Yeah, we had lost Missouri, we had beat Auburn, but then lost Tennessee, lost South Carolina, lost Ole Miss, lost Alabama, lost LSU. So we really needed to get back in the win column.
It would be nice.
And so against a 11-13 Georgia team, we came through with a W. In there, we are right now, I think 18-7.
Hey.
Like we're a good team. We're just not a great team.
And we just lost 5 games.
Yeah, like we were going crazy. Camille Pierre. She put up 28 in this game. Like 28 on 12 of 16 shooting. Ayanna Moore went 2 for 12 with 9 points. It happens. I think that the second that she begins to shoot a little bit more consistently, we're going to be kind of scary. Vanderbilt women's basketball, we pride ourselves on our defense. If people score more than 60 points, it's probably a bad day at the office for us, so we're playing a really, really good team.
But sometimes you get a little game where, who is it against? We just won. It was like 48-43.
Well, that's what we're getting to. So our second game was versus Texas A&M, and we won. I think 49-45. And I saw a really interesting. Yeah, I saw a really interesting stat from Arya Gerson the other day. And Arya Gerson had tweeted that Vanderbilt has played 5 games this season in which no team has scored 50 points. And we've won all 5 of them. So,
dude, pace, grit, grind, and defense.
That's what the foundation of this team is.
Wow, dude.
And, that's a good thing to, I think, build a team off of.
Yeah.
Because
got that old Tom Thibodeau.
So much of that is just effort.
Yeah.
The thing is I think as basketball has progressed, defense is so much more about effort than it is about pure skill. Obviously, to get to that 1% of defenders, you need to have some insane natural talent of some kind. But to be a very good defender, you need to understand what you're doing and work very hard at all times.
Yeah, it's a lot of studying the game and the opponents and just how things work.
Especially college basketball.
Yeah.
When you get to the NBA or something like that, it's a little bit more, I'm a better athlete than you.
Everyone is just hyper talented, so effort only gets you so far. But
it still gets you farther.
Dennis Rodman?
Yeah.
That dude just worked.
Yeah, he's a bum. But
he wasn't good at basketball.
But the talent is there. The talent is also coming when it comes to our next recruiting classes. We're going to build that offensive talent. If we can just grit games out and play great defense, we're going to win a lot of games.
That sounds good to me, man.
I mean, we've won a lot of games. We're 18-7. What is that? Statistically speaking, we have over a 67% chance to win any game just based on our win-loss record. It's probably closer to 70-75.
Oh, never mind. 72.
Yep.
I'm him.
Yeah.
First I know about mitosis, and now I nailed that math.
To be clear, I said probably closer to 70-75. That was some good estimating, but I didn't do I didn't do it as well as you did. With that being said, we're gonna. It was a good game. Those games where we scored none are ones where it's you're sitting there with your leg bobbing the entire time. If somebody goes on a rampage, you just can't really do much about it.
And we're not able to recover.
Yeah, dude, sometimes I feel that way about every single sports team I watch.
Yeah.
Because it'll be the Titans. They'll be they score a touchdown. I'm well, we can't come back from that. I'm well. There goes that game.
Yeah. Next year.
And I'm sitting here, and I'm well, Lord knows we haven't scored a touchdown in 4 weeks. But no.
Gotta hit that free agency market hard.
But so that's the 4 games of basketball we played, and then we had 1 game of baseball yesterday, and I went to it and watched it. And it started off.
Was it, Chris?
It was really, really, really good. But it was different than any other Vanderbilt team I've ever watched in my whole life.
Interesting.
And that's because for the other 3 years I've been here watching Vanderbilt sports, baseball specifically, we've had really great pitching and a really inconsistent offense.
Yeah. If I know one thing.
Yeah, if I know one thing, is that our pitchers are going to give up about 3 runs a game, and we're really going to hope we get 4.
And then we got Jack Bolger.
Yeah. Jack Bolger had a legacy game yesterday, to be totally clear.
It's because we started hating on him.
Dude, we hated on him preseason, so now he's showing us up in. Dude, we should have tried this years ago. But
dude, we've been doing this.
Yeah, the thing is throughout this, I think this podcast most storied history is the Jack Bolger hate.
We hated him, dude. He wasn't anything before we hated on him.
Yeah.
And then he just.
And to be clear, it's 1 game, so there's still potential.
We made him. If he ends up sucking, we did not make that.
No, we no longer made him. So it started off. Grayson Carter started.
I like Grayson Carter.
It's because they're ramping back Carter Holton.
Yeah.
Grayson Carter, there was an interesting thing with his delivery from the mound. Like they paused the game for like 10 minutes before the game started based on warm-up pitches. And it was because he apparently was stepping like sideways on his delivery and not forward or not. I don't know exactly what the thing is, but like they had like a 10-minute mound visit with how he was pitching the ball before the game even started. Oh. And they were like, you need to change this or we're going to like
lose.
You're going to like penalize you.
Yeah.
Because it was the umpires talking to him.
Okay. So it wasn't like a technique thing.
No. It was
more of a
it was a rules,
rule thing.
Which I don't know the rules.
Interesting.
But so he had a rough first inning. Probably because he's pitching weird.
Yeah.
He walked 3 straight guys to start the game. To be clear, after the first 2 guys, they tried a double steal, and Alan Espinal cut down the runner at second. So we had 3 straight walks.
I would maybe him.
We had 3 straight walks with one of them being an out. So worst things. And then it was pop out to No, it was like ground out where like it was to like third base, so like the guy couldn't advance home, and then it was a pop out to the catcher. So he actually got out of the inning unscathed after walking 3 straight guys. Yeah. His second and third innings were much stronger, and then it all came off the wheels fell off 4th inning, which is like 3 innings is about what I expect from Grayson Carter.
Yeah.
If he's coming in for relief. If he's going to be our starter, he's not going to be our Friday starter once Carter Holton gets back healthy.
Yeah.
But like if he is going to be a starter, I would want more 4-5.
Yeah.
And I think that as he kind of gets, he had a really good summer in the Cape Cod, and so I think that he has that potential. But his control was still kind of all over the place yesterday, which is not what we're looking for.
Does he have a bag or is it just a couple pitches?
No, he has I think 3.
Okay.
He has. Well, he also throws 100.
Yeah,
so
that's
like
the thing. I think. With his build, you don't start him. And maybe that's just me
He's just the law.
It's just me being like an amateur watching the game of baseball. But if you throw 100 with like 2 or 3 pitches maybe, and you give a good 3 innings, you're closing. You're closing every day. I don't want you out there in the beginning. I want you there when they're like
I think he has
tired.
The potential to start though.
It's the 6th inning and they're like...
He's seen Devin Futrell for...
And he just... And you're like, where'd the ball go?
Dude,
it's over there.
I think pairing him with Devin Futrell, if like we did like a classic like 6-3, the thing that the Vandy has done in the past.
Yeah. Just do the old.
Because Futrell's great, but he's not the highest velocity pitcher we have.
Yeah, it's like Kumar and the Law.
We had Kumar and the Law, and then Jack and Maldonado,
which is just disgusting.
It was
it's disrespectful to put them out there together, man.
That was crazy. How did we ever lose game 1 or 2?
Baseball. The NCAA better they can't let that happen again.
But so the bats came alive early, and by early I mean pitch 1. Jack Bulger took a ball 425 dead center. It came off the bat, and I was like, "There he is, Jack pop-up Bulger," and then the ball kept going. And the guy kept going backwards, and I'm like, "Hold up."
Hey, the field's only so long.
Hold on. And then it went over. I was like,
deep fly.
I was like, well, I'll shut up. RJ Austin hit second, I believe. And like, oh yeah, he hit second, and he smacked a ball, and it hit the 325 mark right next to the monster. Like it was maybe 5 feet away from being another home run back to back. He got a double there. Diaz hit third, got a singled him home. Alan Espinal fourth, singled, got them to like first and third. Like we got like 4 runs in the first inning.
Gosh. And who did we play? Remind me.
Florida Atlantic, FAU.
Okay, FAU.
Yeah. Huh. And
are they good?
They're always like a 2-3 seed in a regional.
That's not bad at all. Actually.
No, they're a really good mid-major.
Yeah.
Like I have them.
It's one of those Wednesday games that you think, ooh.
They're in the same category as Gonzaga next week, where like they're going to probably make a regional. It'd be really, really big if they ever got to host one.
Yeah.
But like they're probably gonna make one as like a 2-3. Yeah. So like it's not the worst team if like we were to drop a game.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're gonna keep moving.
Yep.
We had like a sizable lead for most of this game. Like, we scored like 4 in the first, 3 in the second. It was like 7-1. And I was like, are we good? And then, so after Grayson Carter kind of had the wheels fall off, we put in Ryan Ginther in the fourth. Ginther did not do anything.
Ginther, buddy.
I hardly know her. But Ginther had a rough outing, which is bad because I think Ginther is a really good pitcher. He like let up like I don't think he might have recorded 1 out before he got pulled. He let up like 4 runs. And in fairness, a lot of that wasn't his fault. Like he got put in with the bases loaded. Yeah. But like you also can't allow like 4 straight hits.
Yeah. To an extent there's forgiveness. To an extent
maybe he
pack
did
your bags, buddy.
Maybe he did get out of the fourth. But then we put in Carter Holton.
There we go.
And I was like, okay, now we're going to put him in. Carter Holton had 2 really good innings, and then the wheels kind of fell off for him as well. The wheels kept falling off.
What's the deal?
And it was really interesting because I'm like, our pitching is supposed to be like...
That's our thing.
That's our thing.
That's
and
like,
it wasn't our thing. And so it was a bit of a rough there, but thankfully our bats had kept it alive. After the first few innings though, like our bats kind of like did the classic Vanderbilt sleep, and we didn't score again until like the 7th. And so but then like they went up like 9-8 at one point. And then we had like a really cool play, got up 9-9, and then it went to the 8th inning. And so they had the top of the inning, and we have Sawyer Hawks pitching, who I think is going to be our closer this season. And Sawyer Hawks got 1 strikeout, 1 pop out, walked a guy, a couple wild pitches maybe, got him to like 3rd. And no, he got him to 2nd. 1 wild pitch, got him to 2nd. And then he's at like an 0-2 count. We're like, oh, thank God. 1-2 count. Okay. 2-2 count. Foul ball, foul ball, foul ball. Like throughout this, there have been foul balls. It hasn't been just like straight balls. 3-2 pitch. Oh God. If we walk him, okay, he's been pitching well enough. He probably gets the next guy out. Guy slams a homer to like the coolers. And I'm like, well, we're down 11-9 now.
You do hate to see that,
in the 8th inning. This is not great. Gets out of the inning on the next batter, strikes him out on 3 pitches, I think. And I'm like, where was that? And I'm like, our 8th inning, poorly, get like maybe 1 base runner. I'm like, well, that's the game. We put in J.D. Thompson for the 9th. J.D. Thompson proceeds to get 2 strikeouts and a pop out in the first 3 batters. And then here comes our 9th inning. And Jack was the 3rd out in the 8th inning. I was like, well, at least Jack can't get around to do a double play right here. And he got out. Anyway, so it started with I think R.J. Austin, and I think he got out. No. I'm lying to you. I don't mean to be. But it started with Alan Espinal because Jack Bulger actually got on base. And then RJ, I think maybe got out.
Dude, we're speaking lies on his name now.
Yeah. And so what ends up happening is Alan Espinal strikes out.
Makes sense.
Calvin Hewitt got replaced Jaden Davis, who is a transfer. He was the SoCon Freshman of the Year last year from Samford.
What does he play?
Second base. Nice. So Calvin Hewitt got put in the game for Jaden Davis. Calvin went to center field. RJ in center went to second.
I forgot we put him in the outfield. Okay. I was doing the math on how many infielders we
have. But so Cal, after a very professional at bat, that's what I kept saying every time someone would take a ball. I'd be like, very mature, professional at bat here, because that's what Corbin says about Camden Kojal. Is he's like he's a freshman. He's literally like he's a very advanced professional hitter. And he got a hit on his first hit, but he didn't do anything after that. But so Calvin like works the count, gets it up to 3-2, swings on this pitch protecting. It was probably a ball. He probably didn't need a swing, but it was like right down the third base line, and he beat out the throw. So bang. Troy Leneve gets a nice little bloop shot. And so it's first and second, but then we pinch run Troy for Jacob Humphrey. Jacob Humphrey was the person who tied Enrique Bradfield Jr. for the nation's lead in stolen bases 2 years ago when he had like 50.
Crazy.
So he's like a great base runner.
Yeah.
Wild pitch gets them to second and third with Vastine up because I think the person before because Chris Maldonado comes up and I'm like, this is a Chris Maldonado legacy at bat, and then he struck out. And so then
if there's anybody that I believe in that moment, it's Maldo.
Maldo had like an 0 for 5 day yesterday.
That sucks, man. But you know what? It sounds right.
Yeah. But so then Vastine gets up, and there's 2 out, second and third. We had actually gotten a run home. I don't know exactly how, but we're only down 1 in this situation, where
the winning run is on second.
Yes, so a single wins the game here, pretty much. So the outfield's kind of in a little bit.
The outfield is in.
Because if it gets to the wall, like
what you gonna do?
At that point, you've lost anyway.
Exactly.
So
just hoping for something you can field.
Right. So Vastine hits this shot, and as soon as he hit it, I went, oh god, because I was like, that's it, that's the game. And it was like a perfect bloop shot behind the third baseman to where the left fielder couldn't get to it.
Crazy.
The left fielder also didn't dive. It was like he was trying to. It was like the play that he was going for was he was going to get it on a hop and throw out Jacob Humphrey on. It was Davis Diaz on second base to like beat him at home. But like I don't think that's not a high probability play.
Man, you got to lay out for that.
And so he didn't, and then the ball bounced. He also missed it. It went by him.
You got to lay out for that.
And
dude.
So we won on a bloop shot walk off 2-run single. To win 12-11 versus Florida Atlantic.
Wow, it's a beautiful world we live in.
It's genuinely like
tear in your eye.
Some would say it's poetic.
Honestly, there's just something crazy about.
But yeah, it was a game that
crazy. Man.
It was a game that like wasn't like I was glad that I was there. We won, but like man, could have been much better.
Boy, oh boy. Playing some West Coast ball now.
Yeah, for real.
We got anybody pitching,
but I think,
and some nice low.
I think either Futrell or Cunningham starting today.
Oh, I like both of them.
Yeah, Cunningham had probably the best summer out of anybody we have.
Randall.
So, no.
He played for half the teams in the NFL. He can come play for us.
True. And so hopefully we have some more consistent pitching. I saw Ethan McIlvain warming up yesterday, so maybe he'll get in.
Ethan McIlvain.
Well, the thing is like we used like 4 pitchers yesterday.
Half of them were McIlvains.
No. We used like 4 pitchers yesterday. Not only do we have 2 more games, but then we have games Tuesday and Wednesday this week.
What?
It's always first couple weeks.
Me,
it's always first couple weeks you have.
They need me.
But like maybe J.D. Thompson gets in those games because he only pitched 1 inning. Anyway. But that's all the games that we have. It was a good week of sports.
Great week, I'd say.
Yeah, and so I'm going to be going to the game at 2 today, even though it's cold. And I'm also going to be going to the game tomorrow.
So if you go to the game,
say hi to me. You'll see me there. I'm going to be wearing this. Not that this is going to be posted today. So
you always forget about that.
So it'll be a good time. I don't think I have anything else. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I'd like to take this moment and just shout out all of my haters.
All those who said I couldn't make it. Guess who's a manager at Kroger? What checkmate?
You were right. Everything they said about me. You know, I don't actually think I've had any haters ever.
No, I don't think so.
Think about it now.
Yeah, I think I've been your big... No, I'm just kidding.
No, well... Yeah, I have no ops.
Yeah, your ops are lacking, to say the least.
I mean, the worst thing I've got are people that come to Kroger and are mean to me.
Yeah, those are the ops.
Which, like, why are you mean to someone at Kroger?
Yeah, like...
It's never
at the end of the day, you're getting groceries.
It's never that deep.
Me, like, I'm going to go hate groceries while I'm getting my apples.
Dog, let me tell you something. So, we have all these, like, coupons and stuff, right? Paper coupons, digital deals, all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
Does not matter really what it is. If you didn't use it and you meant to, you can go up to customer service and we just give you cash for it.
Cool.
So if you forgot to do it, we cash it out for you. At times it's like, I forgot to clip the digital coupon. Can you just give me money anyways? And I say, sure. I'm sorry, Croker.
Bro's firing you.
But the process is we just give them cash for the coupon amount. We explicitly don't give them the tax applicable because I don't know. That's like that. Our policy is just that, yeah. And it does not matter. It's like at times
10
pennies,
cents.
right?
Yeah.
So let me explain to you the situation. Guy comes up. He bought something at $11.99. It was supposed to be $7.99.
Okay.
I give him $4. He says, "What about the tax?" And I say,
"Shucks,
get
man.
a load of this guy."
And you're like, "Shucks, man. Throw you a quarter for your penance. Go get it." Scurry.
So doing some mental math here, how much should I give him in tax?
Well, if you think about it, I mean, it is probably 40 cents. Sales tax in Tennessee is 9.0925%.
Yep,
so
I'm rounding up to 10.
I always round it up to 10 when I think about it. So that's 40 cents. With that being said, it's probably closer to like 36 cents.
Yeah, but I'm not going to,
Yeah.
So what I do is I just say, all right, here's 50 cents. I grab 2 quarters. Good enough for me. Here you go. They're not going to miss 50 cents. If the dude says, well, it's actually going to be like 75 cents. And I say, what? What math are we doing here? I say, so I'm giving you $4 back. Taxes, I'm rounding up to 10%. 10% of $4 is 40 cents, no? And he says, well, I paid this. Well, so he's trying to get all of his tax back.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not how it works, buddy. I'm not even supposed to give you these two. Like, I'm giving you more than you deserve right now. Stop pushing it.
Right.
Sometimes I say no when they ask for tax. I say, sorry, we can't do that. I was being nice to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he just, what's the phrase? It's you give him mouse a cookie.
And my God, he's asking for milk.
And oh my gosh.
Anyway, well, that's
my least favorite thing in life is people that complain about the 30 cents in tax that I owe them.
Yes.
So if that's you, really think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you it doesn't matter at all. No one cares. Go home. Don't you got a family? Like, go see your kids, dude.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, that's all we have for today.
That's my
Show Em The Dore. We will be back next week with more sports.
Yep.
So, all the way from the Curb City all the way from the Curb Center Studios, this has been Show Em The Dore. Bye, guys.